we're traveling mountains just to find the loudest trees. Send out by fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then I'm someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill.
gentlemen, to the Motive Racing YouTube channel. Apologies for that little back screen there. Just had a moment getting the screen on the right bit. But we are here for round 3 of the Formula 1 season here for season 5 on the PlayStation platform, and we are at Albert Park, what used to be the host of the season opener of the Formula 1 World Championship for some considerable number of years. And I'm joined in the box once again by my friend from last week, Max GT, who was with me at Jeddah for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Max, welcome along back to the box again.
Good evening, good evening. It's again great to be back and being part of my favourite part of Friday nights.
Absolutely, this has been my Friday. This has been basically what I do, anything I do on Friday night for probably about 2 months now. So
it's a good time filler for sure.
Well, we got a full grid tonight as well, nearly, barring one driver. We unfortunately don't have Bennett not able to make it, so we've got almost a full grid tonight of 19 drivers. We've got a couple of new faces in as well, as well as some reserves. We've got Avila's driving in the Alpine tonight. We don't see him, I don't know anything about him, but making his debut. We've got TDD Champ, who is driving in the Haas tonight as Little Greeny's replacement, because Little Greeny can't make it. It doesn't look like the Ferrari team have got a replacement tonight, actually. So James Becky, the lone Ferrari out on track tonight, which is going to be a big challenge for him. I think they wanted to leave the space open in case Bennett was able to jump in at the last minute, but unfortunately he's not here. So as such, James Becky, though, definitely flying the flag here at Maranello. He's set the fastest time in the one-shot qualifying session, and will start his sprint race from pole position, and that Max is going to be exactly what he needs this time around.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like last time, he won't be able to get the jump on any people in front of him because he is starting first. But yeah, I think he again has a really good chance at a race so far, but we're gonna have to see what happens.
Absolutely. I just managed to do the same thing again with the music, so it's now turned off, so you can now hear us properly here. But yeah, I do apologise for that. But nonetheless, we've got a couple of drivers here getting disqualified from the formation lap. They've just probably run wide or crashed into someone, I imagine. No dramas. Yeah, it's no dramas. It's not the end of the world. But nonetheless, we are coming around here onto the start-finish straight here at Melbourne for round 3 of the Formula 1 League here at Motive. If you guys are enjoying the stream tonight, please do smash the like button, and also if you haven't already, then subscribe to the Motive Racing channel. If you want to get involved, go to www.motiveracing.com as well. But here we are then for the sprint race tonight. This is not the Grand Prix. The main event of the evening is coming up later on. I'm not sure whether or not drivers can join the Grand Prix if they haven't raced in a sprint, so I don't know if Bennett might get lucky, maybe. I'm not sure what the situation is. I've never actually, to be honest, I'll be real with you, I've never actually played this game. I've only ever commentated, so I don't actually know. But nonetheless, we are here lining up on the grid. Dennis Becky will be getting us underway from pole position as the lights coming on now at the head of the grid. We're about to go racing here at Albert Park, and it's nearly lights out in a moment, and it's lights out now, and Dennis Becky immediately trying to cover off Game for Life. Game for Life got a decent start, but TD Champ has actually got a better start than him, and in fact TD Champ is round the outside here into second place, up the inside. So, yeah, TD Champ there, the debutant, has gone into the wall, and what a disaster there for him. But Dennis Becky leads ahead of Vincent Janssen. Safety car already. Twitch storms is onto the gravel.
It looks like a massive accident on the back there, and people are still stationary there. I think that's Orkin there as well. Avalet's with no front wing. I can't see any other damage there at all. But yeah, massive accident in the back there. 7
cars involved in that. That is absolutely unbelievable, including the 2 debutants, TDD Champ and Avalaise. So not the greatest inception for them here tonight, but nonetheless, the safety car doesn't appear to be out, so it is a VSC by the looks of it, because I can't see the yellow dot at the bottom, which would signify the safety car coming out.
I can see the electronic flags, but this is virtual safety car.
Yeah, definitely so that's obviously good to see. We're not going to have to drive around under safety car, because these sprint races, they're short enough as it is, Max. I mean, the last thing we need is for them to be doing 3 laps under the safety car. It just eats into, I think, the exciting moments of a race, and yeah, for sure, it's not what we want to be seeing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you barely have time to think in these sprint races, because all you want to do is just go forward as much as you can, because top 8 positions pay points, and this is really where you want to be.
Yeah, definitely. So, we've got Seb in the comments there saying, "Can you turn the music up a bit? I can still hear you, Andy." Oh no, sorry, I turned it off because I think you'd rather hear the cars than hear the music. Also, Avalates is missing his front wing, so he's going to have to come in and get that repaired. That's going to be really costing him heaps of time in this race. But we're coming into turn one. We're under green flag conditions once again, as we can see a McLaren there, the Denny boy looking on the back of his teammate into turn one, but he's too far back just at the moment. In the background, you've got a battle going on here between Crest Animate and Avalace, but obviously Avalace. Well, actually, he's probably still there.
Denny Boy is out of the race and he's facing backwards on the track, and that is right on the racing line. So how that's not a safety car yet, I do not know.
I was just jumping on board there with some of the drivers as they're coming past, and yeah, he's literally in a very precarious position there as Avalace is into the pits at the end of lap one. No surprise there, but what a shame for Denny Boy. That is 2 weeks in a row that he's crashed out on the opening lap. Last week was in the Grand Prix. Obviously, last week he actually did quite well in the sprint race. But this time out, he's probably, I guess if there was going to be a race to mess up in, it would be the sprint race, because the Grand Prix is where most of the points are handed out. So I suppose he's done a bit better this week, crashing out in the sprint race than the Grand Prix.
You're not wrong, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not the end of the world right now because, yeah, as you said, the race is where it's at really with the points. It's good to always have these bonus 3 points because in this championship, really, like every point counts, you know, a couple slip-ups in races and you could be dropping down many positions, so yeah, every point counts.
Yeah, for sure. But we can currently see here Demspecky, he's got the gap a reasonable amount now over Vincent Janssen as we're starting lap 3. So Demspecky has really done a good job here in the opening few laps of this race. The gap's not really too big. There's still a second, pretty much less than a second, covering all of the drivers in the top 5 between each driver. So everybody's kind of in DRS of each other at this point. It's going to be a bit of a DRS train. Carpentier's now just dropped out of that second gap to Felix, who is game for life. But we can see here Tezza has got Crazy Max done there into turn 3. And that's job done there up into 6th place. So Tezza Mazda can now try and chase after the leaders as the Mark and Jill Silverine side by side coming through turn 4 and 5. And Jill Silverine's got that back done ahead of the Mark there. So now the Mark's got to watch out because Matty Pitt is going to be all over the back of him as they come through the middle sector of the lap here at Albert Park. But yeah, the Mark wants to try and make sure that he can get this together and not lose 2 positions in one lap here, as we've got double waved yellow flags through sector 1. Not quite sure what those are in aid of at this point, but yeah, no obvious signs as to what that was. I think somebody must have gone onto the grass or something potentially, but the gap between the top 4 is still pretty close. The gap Carpentier by 1.5 seconds, over 1.5 seconds if you count his gap to the leader. But Crazy Max here trying to get back onto the rear of Tezza Mazda, so he's not giving up in this battle just yet, as I'm just going to get the gap, so it says the gap to the leader rather than the gap to the car in front, because I prefer that one. Oh, Jill Silverine's stacked it, and oh my god, Matty Pitt there, lucky he ghosted through him, because Jill Silverine was very much in a position where he couldn't do anything about that, and Jill Silverine puts down to P15.
Phyllis is going to challenge for 3rd place here, and they're side by side heading into a hairpin here. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? It's going to be really hard to tell. I think it's going to be Alfa Romeo of GL45 Felix, but GGJ has the inside line to his corner vote, and it's going to be really close. They've both given each other enough racing room for GGJ just about gets past.
Very courteous driving there from those two. Also, TDD Champs got ahead of Polish My Balls up into the final points paying position, P10, so nicely done there from him. But yeah, great driving there from GGJ, showed Felix the respect that I think he deserves, and to be fair to Felix, he wasn't giving up. Yeah, he's still on.
Not over yet, but after the quick left right here, we've got DRS zone, and he's not going to go for a move here because that's just going to be absolutely stupid. It's not breaking point in 2021. Here we have DRS zone, so will we go for a move? He's going to use all of his DRS, maybe he's going to try and go the inside. No, there's not enough room. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? He's going to dare it round the outside, but GGJ is just ahead again.
Yeah, we're watching on board with Carpentier.
He's dropped it! He has dropped it! Felix is round, and that's really going to frustrate him. I think he's just going to be out of points now if Matty Pitt is going to catch up. No, he's got 2 points right now on P7. But, oh, wow. Challenging from the podium to P7.
That's going to be so frustrating there for him, but GGJ's now got Carpentier on his back. Can he now pull away from Carpentier? Carpentier was bringing himself into that battle with those two too busy focusing on each other. But now it's going to be now GGJ's not got he's now got another driver to worry about here. Tezamaz is also closing in these guys in the background as well, so he's about almost within a second now. In fact, he is within a second of Carpentier. In terms of other battles, obviously Matty Pitt, as you said before, is on the back of Felix. Oh, it's Polish My Balls has dropped it. So Polish My Balls has dropped down to 14th place. He's lost a couple of places there coming out of turn 2, and he's lost out to Orky and the Grieve. So Orky up into 12th, the Grieve into 13th. They've got a safety car, yeah. Why?
Yeah, it's a full safety car. What happened?
I don't know. Nothing seems to have happened, but has somebody parked it on the track and waited for the safety car to come out?
I'm not seeing any stationary cars. It must have been, moving after the safety car came out. That's really peculiar.
That is really strange. I know that there's a little glitch where on certain settings you can stop your car stationary and then the safety car comes out, but you can't do that on the settings that I've picked. You can't do that. I haven't got I've got safety cars on reduced, so I don't think it works when the safety cars are on reduced. That little glitch.
It must have been like a really drastic accident that we just didn't see.
Yeah, I've got Glenn in the comments says it's all going on here. It absolutely is, Glenn. It's been a bit of an action-packed opening few laps to the race, but it's going to settle down here, and unfortunately we're only going to have a couple of racing laps at the end of this one because, well, we're about to start lap 6 and there's only 10 laps here in this race. But Demspecki and Vincent Janssen, the top two. GGJ a little way behind, obviously had his battle, had a bit to worry about with Game for Life on the back of him, but with Game for Life spinning out, he's now got a relative comfort here in this third spot, and he'll be able to now challenge Demspecki and Vincent with the safety car coming out, so they'll all be concertinaed up and in a battle with each other. Tezamaz is also going to be brought into this. He was a little way behind to start off with, but now he's definitely going to have a shot at getting a podium here in this race. So yeah, it's just going to be giving everybody a bit of a lifeline here. Polish My Balls and Jill Silverine coming in. I imagine putting the softs on. It's a bit of a gamble because with 19 drivers on the track, there's a lot of traffic to negotiate, so even having the right tyres on, it still puts you massively on the back foot. You need a bit of luck and a bit of chaos to go in front of you to be able to take advantage of it. I know fresh tyres are great, but when you're 14 places behind the leaders, it's just not really an ideal situation at all. But we see Polish My Balls, Jill Silverine, Crest Animate and Twitch Storms all coming in nonetheless here.
I saw that Twitch Storm had to change his wing as well, so he might have had a little bit of damage, so that's maybe a mandatory pit stop for him.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, we're going to obviously be seeing a lot of people doing that, but plenty of them staying out, a lot of the drivers out there with something to lose in this race essentially, because they've been in their positions. Like, you wouldn't expect any of the top 10 to be coming in at this point. They've got points on the board, they're currently doing what they need to do, so you wouldn't expect anybody who's got anything to lose in this situation to be coming in. But yeah, for sure it's going to be exciting to see the guys on the softs and how they can get on coming back through this pack. But we're not going to be going for at least another lap yet. We got Andrew in the comments. Andrew races with us on ACC on the PlayStation 5 on Sunday nights in the GT3 Championship, and good to see you watching here tonight, mate. Welcome along. We've got Levy Grieve, that's Little Grievy, who says Haas for the win. He's obviously backing his brother the Grieve, and also the stand-in, as that was a hiccup, but also got a stand-in for the Haas team in TDD Champ, who tonight is running in P10 currently in this race.
The TD Champ just hit the back of the mark. That must have been a little brake check there, but they made contact. I don't know if he has damage or not. I can't really see anything. But they actually made contact. That's shocking, that.
Yeah, his front wing seems to be intact. Doesn't seem like he's lost any side pods or end plates or anything like that. So he appears to be in a good position.
He's got lucky with that one, and somehow without a penalty in this game. So yeah, he's lucky there.
Yeah, Polish My Balls briefly got ahead of the Grieve as well, as they're all just backing each other up and messing around a bit here. There's a few games of chicken going on here in this mid pack. Everybody's just trying to keep each other on edge, but I think the best thing is just to get through this safety car period and then start putting each other under pressure. Let's just get through this painful phase first before we start trying to mess around. But currently now, if you're watching the stream, guys, smash the like button if you currently enjoy what you're seeing right now. If you want to get involved, then go to www.motiveracing.com, and if you want to subscribe to the channel, then please do so, as we are relatively small channel, also solely on the console, and as everybody will know, the console sim racing, it's quite a tight-knit community. So if you do want to help us out by subscribing, then please do, as it does, as I say, help us out an enormous amount indeed. But we have got the safety car coming in at the end of this lap, so we've got 3 laps left to go, 3 racing laps, as the safety car is now accelerating away from the pack. We've got Carpentier getting a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with GGJ, so hopefully neither of those two have got damage, but that's going to be affecting Carpentier's eventual race finishing position, I'm sure about that. And yeah, those two just need to kind of rein it in and keep calm. Looking at GGJ's front wing, I
can't
think
see
it's
any
all right.
damage. No, I
Is
can't
it
see
all
any
right?
damage here.
Yeah, I think he's got away with that one. Carpentier looks like he's got away with it, I think, as well. Yeah, I think he has. Yeah, I think it's all right. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting restart here. Demsbecky will be looking to try and catch him napping a little bit. What's Vincent going to be doing here? Can Vincent keep on his tail and be ready for that acceleration of Demsbecky? Here we go. Yep,
That's a really good start, actually, because he caught Vincent Janssen there. Vincent Janssen had a little bit of oversteer on the exits. That's perfect for Demsbecky.
Yeah, just as he was trying to get the tyres warmed up into turn one we go. Are there any moves going on right now? It doesn't look like anybody's made any overtakes coming into turn one.
He's rounds! Vincent Janssen's rounds!
Oh no!
He's in the wall. He's actually made contact with the wall. But Tezza Mazza is going to go try to down the inside of Carpentier, and he's made that move stay. That's a really good move from Tezza up into the podium places.
Yeah, what a shame there for Vincent Janssen. He's down to 18th place here in this race. He's had to let the entire pack come through because they were all so tightly bunched that he couldn't find an opening to rejoin the race. So he's had to rejoin 14 seconds now off of the race leader Demsbecky. So his hopes of points in this one are gone as Orki's lost out to T. So T's up into P10 as these two battered it out coming through in towards the street section of the track. But you can see the Grieve here's lost out to Jill Silverman. Jill Silverman's up into P13 as Orki's got back ahead of T on this little run. And now you can see there, Polish My Ball's just pushing T out a little bit wide there as Polish My Ball's looking on the back of Orky into the chicane. But as you said earlier, Max, you can't really make a move, not in these generation of cars. But you got Jill Silvery now looking to the inside here on T as they're coming down to the end of this long straight, and that's going to be job done there for Jill Silvery up into P12, or is it?
Whoa,
T's going to hold it. Oh, what's going on here?
It's a big pile up. That's a big pile up. I think T tried to go around the outside, but punted into the back of the Alpine, and that just caused him to go around and cause a massive pile up.
Yeah, that's going to be damage for a few of those guys, I'm sure about that. As we can see, Polish My Balls, Jill Silverman moving ahead of Vincent. Vincent there was trying to get ahead of them as they were coming out of the last corner. No DRS available yet, as we're only just underway after the safety car period, but that's gone absolutely horribly wrong. Jill Silverman down the inside of Polish My Balls into turn one, 13th place there for Jill Silverman as Polish My Balls has lost out to Vincent. So Vincent's up into P14. Sorry, mate, who was that?
So I think that was Carpentier trying to make a move on Tezza Mazza, but no
He's still holding on
that really. Yeah,
Tezza's still holding on for that podium place. The gap though, there's nothing between the top guys at the moment. I mean, GGJ's within DRS of Demsbecky, Tezza's with DRS on GGJ. This is still race on.
He's going to have to try on Altara. No! Felix is out!
And surely a safety car.
Oh, wow. That is no, it's not going to be a safety car because there's not enough laps to get this done. So that is going to be... I don't think that's anything, really, for that. But I think that was Felix's fault. He hit the back of the AlphaTauri, spun the AlphaTauri round, and really put himself out of the race.
Yeah, Game for Life's going to have to be starting this one from the back of the pack, which is going to be a very difficult Grand Prix indeed there for him. But
Silverman's out as well.
Yeah,
and he is on the wall there on the exit, the quick left-right, so that's going to be painful for him as well. Both McLarens retired from the sprint race.
They're dropping like flies here at the end of this race. So we've got Demsbecky leading into turn one. GGJ's just keeping him within DRS. Can GGJ have a crack at Demsbecky on this final lap? Tezza Mazza's there waiting in the wings if these two maybe trip over each other or start to battle on this last lap. You've got Crazy Max fighting with Matty Pitt over 4th place. So those two have just kept themselves out of trouble when they're running in 4th and 5th places. Great result for him, for both of them here in this sprint race. The Mark and Carpentier battling over 6th and 7th. You've got Orky there in 8th, had a TDD champ followed by Twitch Storms. Vincent Janssen is only 4 seconds off. No, he's not 4 seconds off some points because you only get points if you're in the top 8 in the sprint races. I apologise, but he's got the Grieve behind him in P12. Polish My Ball's still going. Avalate's running in 14th place, and T has dropped well off of the rest of them here in 15th place. It's not been the second half to this race that he would have needed at all. But Demsbecky and GGJ 6/10 apart. Tezza Mazza, though, I'll tell you what, he is throwing the kitchen sink here at the back of GGJ as we're coming down towards the end of the long straight. Is he going to make a move at DRS wide open, just a little bit too far back? And I think he might have just missed his opportunity here. Demsbecky, though, coming through the final few corners.
One more opportunity into the left-hander. After this corner, GGJ goes a little bit wide. He's going to try round the outside. He's on the grass. There, 2 wheels on the grass.
Great squeezing there from GGJ.
All over the rear bumper, but Demsbecky takes the checker flag and wins the sprint race. It's going to be so close to GGJ. GGJ secures 2nd place, and Tezza Mazza finishes the podium.
I'll tell you what helped GGJ there was the fact that he had DRS on Demsbecky, which allowed him to basically defend it. I think if he wasn't within a second of Demsbecky, Tezza would have had him for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think it was so close, just a tenth within it.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
very tight. So we see everybody coming over the line. So Alders as not who is that? Just binned it on the start finish straight. I don't know. Somebody lost it coming down the start finish straight. That is mad. But anyway, we got Andrew there saying soft runner behind 5 people with pens. Yeah, so that will obviously change the classification there. We'll see it in just a few moments. So there we go. That is that for the sprint race. This Demsbecky taking the win ahead of GGJ in P2. Teza Muzzer completing the podium. But there you see a bit of a shake up in terms of the order for the sprint race. That is your grid then for the Grand Prix, which will be starting in a few moments time. But Demsbecky getting up his night off to a perfect start after taking pole position in the one-shot qualifying session. But GGJ definitely looking a match for him so far tonight. And one driver who I'm looking forward to watching, or in fact a couple of drivers who I'm looking forward to watching in the Grand Prix, Felix and Denny Roy coming from the back. That's going to be exciting. Also Vincent Janssen P12. There's going to be plenty to watch here in this race for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Demsbecky keeping the win there. A great drive from him, and especially GGJ as well. Again, the Ferrari and Red Bull up on top. Let's see how his constructors plays out.
Definitely. So obviously a massive shame that Bennett couldn't be here tonight, because Bennett obviously is otherwise engaged. I don't know if he was able to get himself in, but I don't think you can actually join a race if you haven't been in the sprint race. So
you cannot.
No, so unfortunately Bennett, even if he was able to get himself back in time for the race, wouldn't be able to actually take part. So it's a shame there for the Ferrari team, because I know that they're in a battle with Red Bull this season. Every single point is going to count. But saying that, it's a 23 race season or 22 race season, so it's not. I mean, it could be worse. You know, last season we had a 15 round season, so any missed rounds was going to really hurt you. This season, not quite as much, but you know, as I say, every point counts, so it can still cost you. But nonetheless, we are getting ready to go here for the Grand Prix here, the Australian Grand Prix Automotive. Here we are, round 3 of the season, race 6 altogether for season 5 here on the PlayStation platform, as we are now locked in and ready to go. The timer is now set, so 25 seconds until the start of the formation lap. Max, I've got to ask you the question. I always have to ask it whenever I've got a co-commentator. I've got to ask who you're putting your money on tonight. Who do you think's going to win this race?
Oof, I mean, me and Demsbecky were on good terms actually. We talked after a race. I'm gonna have to say Demsbecky. You know, he's really. Yeah, definitely. I think so. He's really consistent. Just minimises mistakes throughout the race. I think Demsbecky's got this one in the bag.
You can't rule out GGJ for sure. I think he's going to be a factor here in this race, but I'm going to put my money on obviously metaphorical money, but I'm going to put my money on Teza Muzzer, just because of the way that he was there waiting to pounce in the sprint race. He was able to take advantage of all the incidents going on in front of him. He's also quite good on the tyres, is Teza. He's very, very good at saving tyres, and the strategy is generally something that's one of his strengths. So I'm going to personally say that I reckon Teza Muzzer is going to be my favourite for this race win, but it could be anybody's.
Demsbecky. I mean, Teza really is like the 3rd fastest driver, pretty much on this grid right now.
He's probably he's the best strategist though, and he's the best on the tyres.
Oh yeah, of course. That's all part of it. But if GGJ and Demsbecky come together, he has a big chance.
Or even last week, I mean, we saw at Jeddah last week, Teza Muzzer managed to make his hard tyres last for so long, and it was only because of the late safety car that we didn't potentially see him. You know, he might have ended up getting passed on the last lap. He might have ended up getting overhauled, but he was 6 seconds ahead with 5 laps to go. Yeah. You know, he could have won that race, and admittedly, the other guys would have been so much quicker than him and could have even caught him. But we'll just never know the answer. We'll never know what could have happened in that race. But for me, you cannot rule him out. You can't rule out GGJ either. I think, like you say, Demsbecky is the favourite for this race. There is no doubt. He has been the quickest in one shot. He's been the quickest in the sprint race. He is the man to beat tonight. But you cannot rule out this man, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I mean, GGJ, even in the sprint race, it wasn't by miles. I mean, in one-shot qualifying, I think it was like 2/10 that Demsbecky got pole. But even throughout the sprint race, you know, he was sticking with him within DRS, just waiting for his moment to strike. And I think we'll see that again in the race.
It's Going to be great to see. We've also got a few drivers coming from the back of the pack as well. Vincent Janssen, as well as Bennett did get in. Bennett joined. So you can join.
Wow!
You can join for the Grand Prix if you miss the sprint. That's good. That's good. I'm glad that you can do that, because that means that a lot more people will be able to race this season. I'm glad to see that. So Bennett starting from the back of the pack. Here we go then. Wow, this is brilliant. So we got another driver coming from the back. So we got Denny Boy, Bennett, Game for Life, lots of quick drivers, Vincent from the mid pack as well. But the lights are on at the head of the grid. We're about to go racing here for the Australian Grand Prix, and it is lights out and away we go. And quite even Stevens from the front too.
Good start from Dem Specky there. Crazy Max is going to be on the
grass.
inside of Tezza Muzza onto turn 1. It's going to be side by side. There might be a little contact there, but Tezza Muzza stays into P3. Matty Pitt is going to have a try and Crazy Max around the outside, but it's pretty much even throughout the whole pack here.
Very clean start as well. Nobody seems to have dropped it. TTG.
There's a bit of contact there. Carpentier has hit the back of Matty Pitt, and it causes a domino effect. And there's a madness going on throughout the really midfield. And yeah, that was a very just dramatic start to this race.
Vincent Janssen's already up 3 places from 12th into 9th, so he's absolutely flying. Bennett is up from 20th to 8th to 12th place.
Wow.
So Bennett's gained 8 places in just sector 1 here. Unbelievable start from Bennett as Jill Silverman's got ahead of Polish My Balls. That's because Polish My Balls has dropped it there and he's dropping down the field like a stone here. He's down in 17th place. We can see Denny Boy's not had the start to the race. He's currently running in 17th. Game for Life has also gone nowhere at the start. He's 6 seconds off at the back of the pack, running in 19th place, but it's Dennis Becky leading. GGJ and Tezza Muzza hot on his heels though as they're coming towards the end of the first lap here for the Australian Grand Prix. Crazy Max there ahead of Matty Pitt, followed by the mark. You've got Carpentier ahead of Twitch Storms, followed by Vincent Janssen ahead of Orky, ahead of Bennett, who's up into 11th place. So Bennett's picked off another driver here, as you can see there, Jill Silver in around the outside of the Grieve and up into 12th place, so that's job done there for him. But Bennett LCSC almost in the points at the end of the first lap. He started in 20th place, didn't even race in the sprint race, and he's on the hard tyres as well. So Bennett has been on one at the start of this race.
That's been an absolutely outrageous start that we've never seen before in this season so far. It's a shocker, and Vincent Janssen as well in P9. He needs to watch out because, you know, being championship rivals, you don't want your rival to finish in front of you.
No, you absolutely don't. But he's currently got his teammate running in P2, so we know that they've got pace tonight as Carpentier's trying to go around the outside of Twitch Storms here. Gets pushed to the edge of the track, manages to squeeze around him there. Beautifully done there from Carpentier.
Around the outside goes Twitch Storms.
Yeah.
That's an amazing move. Carpentier's going to have the inside. But Twitch Storms keeps the position. That's absolutely incredible from Twitch Storms.
Riding on board with Vincent Janssen. He's going to try and get underneath Carpentier, who didn't get a great run there out of that section. Now Vincent Janssen's got the run here on Twitch Storms.
On the inside there, maybe a little bit of contact there, but Vincent Janssen up into P7.
Brilliant stuff there from Vincent Janssen. As we look further down, we've got Bennett on the back of Orky here. So these guys coming down this long straight. He's now looking to try and get himself into the points. They've got Jill Silver and also coming along with them here as Bennett having a little look to the inside to the end of the straight, but too far back. Crest Anime's done the Grieve up into 14th place. Carpentier's done Twitch Storms up into 8th. So plenty of action, plenty of drama and switchovers right now. As now Twitch Storms is trying to come back with Carpentier.
Contact. Carpentier's on the grass.
Naughty. Yeah, that wasn't clean there from Twitch Storms, I've got to say. As we can see there, Bennett's going to squeeze through and say thank you very much to Carpentier and Orky.
It's 2 by 2, like Noah's Ark through a main straight, and Carpentier's going to go down the inside maybe. Orky gets a little bit put off. Orky's on the grass. Jill Silver could have gone around the outside there. And there's Vincent Janssen. Vincent Janssen has made a big mistake, and he is round, and that gives Bennett another position, so he's thrown away another championship battle. I mean, worthy points, and that is disappointing from Vincent Janssen.
Vincent Janssen down in 14th place, Orky down to 18th, so those two both spinning in the same place, but Vincent's wasn't quite as bad, but Bennett is already on the back of Twitch Storms here. He's gained 12 places in the first 2.5 laps, looking to try and make it 13 place gains, as they're now, they're 3 seconds off of the mark. He's running in P6, but Bennett is currently within about 7 or 8 seconds of the lead, so he has not lost too much time to the leaders at all. Could Bennett even be in for a podium here, or a podium shout in this race? Maybe not. Maybe a P4 could be his best hope, because if you look at the order, there's a big gap between the top 3 and Crazy Max, who's running in P4, but nonetheless, what a start it's been from our man in the Ferrari. Last season's runner-up in the championship. This could be a big damage imitation race for him in this Australian Grand Prix, as TDG Champs trying to go around the outside of Vincent Janssen here. Vincent pushes him wide, and Vincent, contact between them. Vincent spun round into the wall, and this has not been the start to this race that Vincent Janssen would have needed at all. He's gone backwards so far, and he's retired the car as well.
He's out of a race. He's done that
rage
manually
quit.
as well.
Yeah.
Oh, he's rage quit. He's literally rage quit. So that is the end of Vincent Janssen's first race. That's shocking.
That is shocking. I mean, it's a long race. Anything can happen. I mean, it could be a
one
safety car.
could bring him into a race.
Wow.
That's not ideal for a league race. There's a bit more contact as T punts it back across, and there's been a little bit of accident with Jules Silver and Kirpins here. Mark is retired, and there's a big accident for Mercedes, and both of Mercedes are out in 2 corners.
No way.
That has got to be, yeah, it's a full safety car, and that is the craziest Mercedes double DNF I've ever seen.
This is the downside to having full grids, is you usually get absolute carnage. But this is absolutely unbelievable stuff right now. So we started with 20 drivers, we are now down to 15. So I think we had about 15 drivers left in the race after about nearly all of the race last week. So basically we've got the same amount racing now that we had last week, and we had 4 more people start the race last week, so quite an unbelievable turn of events here. But the safety car's waiting on the exit of turn 2, so these guys, Dems, Becky, GGJ, Tezamuzza, will pick him up. Now, is anybody going to come into the pits and do a tyre change and maybe try and go to the distance here, because a lot of drivers will be trying to put the hards on. 25 laps to the end, and obviously only 23 racing laps at
Crazy
best.
Max are in the pits.
Yeah, 23 racing laps at best for this one. So is anybody going to put the hard tyres on and try and go the distance?
Hard tyres for Crazy Max and Tezamuzza as well.
No surprise to see Tezamuzza putting the hard tyres on. I could have predicted that one. Crazy Max, yep. What's T doing? Is T putting the hard tyres on? He's into the box. No, he's putting the softs on.
He's putting on softs. Okay. Interesting stuff from T there.
Now he's gone for the mediums.
I think, yeah, he has. And a new front wing as well. So yeah, all respectable changes, except for T. I don't know why he's put on the softs, but
very confusing. I mean, he probably is banking on another safety car, I would imagine. He's probably thinking, well, there's been enough accidents already, I'm sure there'll be another one. But then again, the safety cars, they're on reduced though for this season, so it's not going to be seeing too many of them. It takes a lot, I'll tell you that, for the safety cars to get deployed here, because as I said, like, having them on reduced, it has to be a simply catastrophic accident. But the thing is, the inconsistency with safety cars is mad, because you'll get like somebody run off onto the grass and lose their front wing and it'll be a safety car. You get a 5-car pile up in the middle of the track and it'll be like double waved yellow flags.
Yeah, exactly.
No sense.
Yeah, it has to be a natural disaster for it to be a safety car.
Yeah, it really is bizarre. There is no logic, there is no actual rule of thumb to it whatsoever. But currently we are here on lap 5 nonetheless, guys, for the Australian Grand Prix Emotive. 11 of you currently watching on the stream. Got Game Tech also saying hello. So proud of my son, Max GT, doing a fantastic job as always. Game Tech, guys, who didn't know, Game Tech is Max's dad. So yeah,
he is,
famous YouTuber's son.
Nice. Oh god, no comment.
We've got Glenn also saying, just imagine if this was a wet race. Oh god, don't. I wouldn't want to think. Yeah, I just wouldn't want to even imagine. Andrew says, be no one left. 20th to 4th for Bennett. Yeah, unbelievable, absolutely outrageous. But incredible driving as well, and he's on the hard tyres. So
yeah, that's one thing that's really shocked me, because, you know, for the first couple of laps, hards are going to have the disadvantage, but he's just gone against that. He's just like morphed his tyres really, so he's on mediums. But yeah, really competitive pace from Bennett.
Yeah, Bennett always seems to go well on hard tyres. I've seen him do this so many times. He'll always play the long game with strategy. Qualifying has never been Bennett's strong suit. I remember when I first saw Bennett race when I was commentating on a league called Excel. Back before that, then their league morphed into the OG Racing League, or the OG League, which Bennett actually runs. But I just remember qualifying, it'd always be like, you know, P5, P6, you know, there or thereabouts, and then it was the races where he would just come alive. He'd be on the slower tyres, he'd go long into the stints, and he would just win every single race. It was like almost a foregone conclusion. I remember at one point he won about 7 or 8 races in a row or something, and I was just thinking, like, well, wait, you know, it's not even a contest. He was just so unbelievably quick, and obviously in Motive's F1 League he's got a lot of competition, but you know, he's still always up there, and in the last couple of seasons he's really blossomed as a top drawer competitor here in the Motive League. He used to often be a little way, not a little way, but well, he'd obviously be. He'd come short of the drivers like Gelram, and maybe a few others like Audrey Avis. I remember used to race here as well.
All great competition as well.
Yeah,
I mean, if Gelram was in this race, if Gelram was in this race, he would have won the race by now. Honestly.
Yelmer, if he was there, yeah. But yeah. Nonetheless, he's not here, but actually interesting news, he did actually tell me earlier on he is planning on making a one-off return in a couple of weeks' time at Miami, so keep your eyes out for that, guys, because that's going to be an exciting night. We're going to be seeing Joel run win the race by over 30 seconds. Yeah, here we go. So Demsbecky leading down towards turn 1. GGJ got a great start actually, didn't he? Look at that, he's looking up the inside.
Go down the inside there. He's hit. Oh my god, that was so close. He almost went into the wall, and that was really close. He even makes a little bit of contact with Bennett there. Bennett up into P3 in the podium position. He's going to try for P2. Oh, and GGJ sent it down the inside, and that is going to really frustrate Bennett because he had a chance to win. He's had a little bit of a moment. He's also on Commentator into P4 there. And oh wow, what restart to a race. Denny Boy is even on the back of Bennett, trying to make something work. But yeah, great chaos at the start of this restart. But Denny Boy's gonna have a go with Bennett on the inside here. He's on the grease two wheels on the grass, and make contact again and again.
Oh no! What's going on there? Come on, Denny Boy, what are you doing, mate? What is that all about?
That's an outrageous start. I mean, Bennett's going to be really angry as well.
Has he still got his front wing? He has. He's missing his front right end plate, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of things happened there, but that's really confusing. Denny Boy tried to challenge him for like P5, I think that was, and just got ahead of himself, really.
There was no
Slow it down, reel it in, and just, see what happens. But no, he went for it.
They both went into the wall on the right hand side and are both missing their right front end plates, and Bennett here is dropping down the order here, or is he? I don't know. Oh god, Bennett's in the wall.
10-second penalty.
Bennett's pressed into the wall. Does it?
Oh no.
Oh no, was he trying to... He just got done for corner cutting and he's binned it into the wall, so I think he's just crashed out deliberately there.
As well, so yeah, something like that. Oh god, that's not good. What could have been for Bennett, and even the Ferrari constructors. Oh god, don't know what to say about that one.
It's not gone well, but anyway, so we have lost two big contenders here from this season in the shape of Janssen and Bennett, so that's really not the night that we would have been hoping for here at all. And Denny Boy down in 14th place, so he's currently really struggling here as T's off onto the grass as well, so T there getting it going again as he's having a bit of a nightmare there, to say the least. Demsbecky is still leading the race. Matty Pitt's actually keeping up with Demsbecky. He's got ahead of GTJ.
Matty Pitt even, he was like 2 seconds behind like a lap ago, so really...
Oh, GTJ making a move down the inside, here we go. Matty Pitt holding it around the outside there, doing a good job.
Really, really awkward corner to try and overtake, because if you go around the outside, just eventually going to be pushed onto a gravel, or even worse, into a wall. If you go down the inside, you're going to push someone into the wall, so it's really just like how respectful, or how much you respect the other driver, and the driver trying to overtake you.
We got Game for Life on the back of Carpentier here as they're coming down over the line to start lap 9 of the race. GGJ still a little bit too far back on Matty Pitt at the moment. Tezamos is trying to get onto the back of Jill Silverin, but just... Pardon me, it's a DRS train all the way down from 2nd down to 7th place, so you've got 6 cars really in a line.
Felix is going to try and run the outside of Carpentier here. That's going to be a really good move if he can pull that off. And he has almost Carpentier's going to go around the outside onto the sausage curb, but Felix is going to try and run the outside again. He goes onto the grass, don't spin into him, that's good. And Carpentier keeps the position. It would have been so good around the outside there. And Matty Pitt gets a 3-second time penalty. And that's going to harm his race as GGJ is going to have another go. We're going to follow him through this left-right, even after, and for the DRS zone as well, he might even have a go. But let's see how he goes. He's going to gain rapidly. He's not even using ERS, and that's the top line speed advantage he has as T retires from the session. We're going to follow him now. He's going to use all of his ERS and open that DRS. He's going to go try and round the outside. That's really late moving, but GGJ's through and onto his main championship rival, Demspecki.
As Joel Silverman's dropping down the order, I'm not sure what's happened to him, but he's down in 12th place, so he's dropped it somewhere. The Greaves got ahead of Orky around the outside. Orky tags him in the rear, and the Greave manages to continue on his way, but Orky's lost a load of places here, down to 11th. Crest Anime's lost out to TDD Champ, so TDD Champ making the move there. Tezza Muzza's also got ahead of Game for Life, as Game for Life had a moment coming through the penultimate corner, so lots of position changes going on there. Orky's now on the back of Joel Silverman, trying to get back up into 11th place, as Gizmo with a tap in the rear, and Joel Silverman looks like he's coming in at the end of lap 10, so looks like there is a lot of carnage going on right now, and GGA still ahead of Matty Pitt in this battle for second place, so Matty Pitt holding his ground here right now. Demspecki seems to be the connoisseur of Albert Park here tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's holding his ground. Even Demspecki, you know, just like stamping his authority in the lead again, like we saw last race out in Jeddah. But yeah, really good race from him so far. Nice clean racing most of the time, let's say. But yeah, really close racing, tight racing, nice little DRS train we have going on here, like 4 cars or so. And yeah, really good start to this race.
Carpentier will have DRS down this next straight. He can keep himself, he can get a good exit here out of the chicane, then he'll have a chance to
not discount Tezza Muzza as well. He's going to have DRS, he's just going to be waiting to pick up the scraps, as Matty Pitt's going to go. It's going to defend, but no, Commentator's up into podium places, and maybe Tezza, after Matty Pitt might be a little bit, you know, disgruntled by that, can pick up the scraps here.
The thing is, in this battle right now, that the car that's always in the prime position is the one in 4th place, because he'll always be the car who's got DRS on the driver in front, but hasn't got to worry too much behind, because obviously if he's got DRS, then the guys behind him aren't going to be able to overtake him. So I think we're going to see probably a repeat, I think, of this situation. Matty Pitt will probably get a run on Carpentier in the next DRS zone, unless Carpentier can absolutely wring the neck of that AlphaTauri coming through the middle sector here. Matty Pitt will be in a position to try and return the favour in the same place that Carpentier did him, but right now these guys battling it out over the final podium place, as Game for Life's on the back of them as well, so it's still a 4-car train. Obviously Matty Pitt on the medium tyres, so he's the one who essentially is in the inferior position to these guys. Tezza's really close actually on Matty, coming through in towards the street section of the track. As you can see there, he's looking around the outside. Can he get this done? Tezza's going to have this done, I think, coming up towards the chicane. The problem is for him though, is he's now going to be giving DRS to Matty, but then again he's got the DRS on Carpentier, so he should be alright and should be able to attack here. But Matty's got to watch out, because Game for Life's now right on him here, and DRS here for Game for Life. Matty did not get a good run at all, despite the fact that he's got DRS here on Tezza Muzza. He's not really able to do much, and Game for Life around the outside, and is it going to be job done for Game for Life? Matty's still trying to hang it there.
Very
he's done it
from Game for Life. And I've only just found out that GFL stands for Game for Life. I'll be calling him Felix for the whole race.
Yeah, he's changed his name. He obviously was Game for Life 09, I think it was, for a considerable amount of time. But Matty did not get a good run. Yeah. Here we go. We've got Tezza Muzza on the back of Carpentier, nonetheless coming into turn 1, but he's too far back just at the moment. Matty Pitt still trying to keep himself there in this battle with Felix, Game for Life. Bennett in the Discord not happy at all with what's been going on out there tonight. Obviously had a crash with Denny Boy, and that was kind of like the nail in the coffin for him in this Grand Prix. But yeah, he's very, very, very unhappy indeed with some of the driving out there tonight. But currently Tezza Muzza trying to pile the pressure on Carpentier. He's been, I think we can safely say, the best of the rest after Demspecki and GGJ tonight. GGJ now is in clean air, he's matching Demspecki out the front, but he's too far behind at this point. He's got a lot of work to do, but can Tezza get himself into clean air and bring himself potentially into this fight for the win? Obviously bringing himself into it with the long game in mind, because Carpentier, Tezza Muzza and Game for Life, they're all on the hard tyres, so they're all in a really good position to challenge Demspecki and GGJ once we get to the business end of this race. You know, they're very much in this fight, because with the strategy playing its hand, they'll have the medium stint at the end, maybe even a soft stint if they're really able to stretch this stint. So, you know, it could really come into play at the end of this race.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think the hard to medium or medium to hard is most, you know, safe and just like most common strategy, but really softs can work, but it's just like high risk, high reward really, because you don't know how much time you'll lose and how much time you'll gain as well. But we're going to see Tesmazo is going to go around the outside of Carpentier. This could be a good move again. We've seen it before. People going around the outside. He's going to have an inside line from the next corner. He will hold it there. Carpentier goes on the sausage cut maybe. No, Carpentier keeps the position.
The thing is that what I'm seeing right now is I'm seeing Demsbecky and GGJ out the front on the medium tyres. Saying that though, they stretched us in almost to the halfway point in this race. I would have thought if they were planning on running medium hard, then they would have already have been in probably on lap 10 or 11 and put the hards on already.
This lap or next lap is like the latest they can do really.
I'm wondering if maybe
to absolutely like maximise the hard tyre.
But just thinking about it, I mean the gap to these hard runners behind is only, well, to be fair, Demspecky's about 6 seconds ahead, so maybe not him as such, but I don't know.
He's going to go around the outside, and that might be a move done. He's going to have to keep a nose in Tezza. They're going to be side by side, you know, Carpentier just on the sausage, the massive curb on the left there.
Not giving this one up.
It's really tight. He's going to force his way through there, and he is going to force his way successfully through into P3.
You're absolutely right, Max, saying about Demsbecky coming in at the end of this lap. Here he comes, so the race leader now making his pit stop onto the hard tyres. But I wonder if GGJ, because we know that GGJ is quite good, he's quite similar in this regard to Tezza Muzza, although maybe not as much of a connoisseur as Tezza is, but he's quite good at saving his tyres and making them last. Maybe he hasn't been pushing these mediums as hard as he could do to potentially maybe get them a little way into the race so he can put the softs on at the end. I mean, he'd be in the same position as these guys behind Tezza, Carpentier and Felix. Does he continue to long it out and give himself a fighting chance of competing with these guys, or does he maximise his mediums now, push like hell, try and get a big gap so he can live with these guys on their hard tyres? What do you reckon?
Again, like I said, it's high risk, high reward. You know, GGJ, you know, well, Demspecky has really good pace, and so does GGJ, and GGJ, you know, he's not really keeping up with Demspecky. Demspecky is like in a world of his own today, but you know, he can risk going onto the softs and pushing like crazy for the last couple of laps, and really, I mean, softs against hards, who's going to win? So it's going to be a massive you know, pace deficit for Demspecky, so I think GGJ is going to push onto the softs here.
The one thing that GGJ, I think, has got, if he were to put the hards on right now, and obviously with the guys who are started on the hards, if they were to stay out and obviously put the softs on, then they'd have to continue on the hards for at least another 5 or 6 more laps. So if GGJ were to stop now and put the hards on, he'd have 5 laps or so on fresh hards, where he'd be a lot quicker than the guys who are on worn hards, and maybe could make up a bit of that time.
It's a safety car.
No way. Why?
So what's happened?
What is going on?
Nothing has happened. I don't know why there's a safety car.
This is my point earlier on. I was saying about how you see an absolute cataclysmic incident, which you know, doesn't even warrant the wave yellow flags, and yet you can see this situation right here, but nothing has happened, and we've got a full course safety car. It just
I was just going to disrupt the race and just, you know, ruin the flow. I don't know why Michael Massey's done that, but wait, no, it's not Michael Massey.
Oh yeah, no, Michael Massey.
Someone else.
Michael Massey went and he went and, you know, he just
sabotaged.
He just like, I don't know where he is now. To be fair, probably living luxury off of all the money that he got from Red Bull. Sorry, what? But anyway, nice. Jill Silverman coming back out onto the track, nonetheless. But GGJ leading the race right now. He's would be well advised to come into the pits here and put a set of, well, what does he do? Does he put the softs on? I mean, he's probably a bit far out.
The last 14 laps. He's going to come into a pit.
You've got to remember, it'll be 12 laps.
Going to go to hards.
It'll be 12 laps because it's not going to be all at racing speeds.
No, but again, at the end of the stint, I think that there's hards for GGJ there, and I think that's a suitable decision. He's got fresher tyres than Demspecky nonetheless, and he might have come out front, you know, because of how slow the safety car is. So GGJ might have gained the position here, and that has changed the race completely. He's
changed the race, but the thing is, he's come out ahead of Carpentier and Felix and obviously Crazy Max has stayed out actually. So Carpenter and Felix have come out in P5 and 6. So they've on paper they've lost out to GGJ. But the thing is, GGJ has had to put the hard tyres on because he started the race on the medium. So he's got to do a stint on 2 different tyre compounds, as we all know. That's obvious. But the thing is, Carpenter and Felix are both on the medium tyres. They might be 3-4 places behind GGJ, but they've got fresh medium tyres on their car. Their cars are going to be on paper about half a second a lap quicker than GGJ. So are they going to be able to make up that deficit that they've got in terms of positions, track position? GGJ probably the quicker driver than both of them around this circuit, but them two being on the faster tyres, could they be able to fight him for this position? Tezemaz is staying out on the hard tyres. Now I wonder if he's going to try and go to the end on those hards, because he probably could just about get them to the end.
Yeah, I think he could get to the end.
Obviously, with so many laps under the safety car as well, it could help him because he won't have to take too much life out of them.
Yeah, definitely. But also, Tezemaz is going to be a little bit of a barrier here for GGJ, because GGJ is going to be urgent just to go and run away from Demspecki, but he has to get through Tezemaz first, and obviously wait for him to go, because he's not leading the safety car, Tezemaz is.
Yeah, Tez's on worn out tyres, so I think GGJ and Demspecki will definitely have the advantage over him. I mean, is Tezza maybe banking on another safety car potentially? I don't think that's a very smart move. I think that Tezza's probably going to be counting his losses at this point because he knows he's got pace. He's definitely going to be able to challenge Crazy Max because Crazy Max is on the same age tyres, but I think he might be a bit of a sitting duck here for Carpentier and Felix. So I mean, I can't see Tezza hanging in there too well with GGJ, Demspecki, Carpentier and Felix behind him. I can't see Tezza finishing higher than 5th in this race. Just looking at the order behind him, seeing the 2 guys behind him on fresher hard tyres, seeing the 2 runners on fresh mediums as well, I can't see him holding on.
You know, like, everyone is on fresher tyres than him, so he doesn't really stand a chance in this race. Especially
he's got the pace. He might have the pace to live with Matty Pitt and Orky, and no offence to them, but the other guys, I can't see him holding up. I really can't.
I mean, it's really just we have to wait and see what he does, because being onto softs, he's going to lose a lot of time, and he can't do it now because he's just going to be last on the safety car. So maybe like lap 25, he's going to have a quick stint onto softs, but is that too late? I don't know, there's so many questions.
It's so difficult to know at this point, but we have got 12 laps left to go in this race, and obviously the more that we go on the safety car, the more of this race is being eaten into. But yeah, we should be going at the end of this lap, I would imagine. There's no reason why we shouldn't be going this lap, because we are pretty much all here now. Yeah, so there is absolutely no reason why we shouldn't be okay this time. But we've currently got Tezemaz leading this race on his worn out hard tyres. The question is, how is he going to be able to hold up with these guys behind him? You probably lose about half a second a lap. Not half a second, sorry. You probably lose about a 10th every couple of laps, isn't it, or something like that? So you're probably going to lose about half a second for these guys. Yeah, because hards are slower wearing, but probably half a second a lap. He's got a raw pace deficit to GGJ and Demspecki. Carpentier and Felix are going to have the pace over him, but their tyres will start to go off in the very, very closing laps maybe. So probably by the time we get to about lap 27, 28, you might see Carpentier and Felix start to struggle in relation to the hard tyre runners. Now obviously the mediums go 15 laps comfortably. They go 15, 16, 17 laps easily, but in relation to the hard runners, they will start to wear out quicker, and obviously you'll see the hards start to come back at them. So in relation to the medium tyres, the hard tyres will start to get some kind of second wind compared to the mediums, if that makes sense. But we have got Tezemaz getting underway here. Yep, we're underway once again. So 12 to go here at Albert Park for the Australian Grand Prix here at Motive. Has any moves being shaped up?
Are going to be
Carpentier's going to Crazy Max.
It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
He's done it.
Oh no, my Carpentier's gone through.
Comfortably, yeah.
It's a little bit of a moment there, and GGJ, I think, have a start. It's about 9.
Crazy Max has binned it. Crazy Max is into the wall. He's lost his front wing there. He's down to the back of the pack. So what a disaster of a start there for him. Was it contact with Game for Life? I'm not sure. It looked like he was trying to make the move on him. Denny Boy's gone ahead of Crest and Anime up into P10. Denny Boy, we haven't even spoken about him on his fresh soft tyres. Can he make them last 12 laps? I mean, that'll be a push. That's going
to be pushing it, definitely. I mean, the medium's going to be worn out. I don't know, again, like last time, I don't know what the tyre multiplier is, if it's like increased during short races, but the mediums can, carry about 15 laps with a little bit of a struggle at the end. 12 laps on the softs going to be exactly the same, really, as mediums.
We've got Orky and the Greaves side by side here coming into the chicane. Who's going to come out on top here? Orky's going to have the inside covered off, and in fact, you can see Denny Boy now is going to try and knock the Greave while he's down, as the McLaren's got the run here on the Haas as they're coming down towards the end of the straight, and this is going to be job done there for Denny Boy, I think, on these fresh soft tyres. Then again, the Greave also on fresh soft tyres, so they're in the same position, but Denny Boy nonetheless down the inside, and he's
going to be round the outside for the Greave, and no, Denny Boy's through. That's a very respectable move.
Yeah, P8 in this race, Denny Boy. Now, he could make some significant gains here in this phase of the race. Now, I have no question about the fact that he might be able to get into the top 5 here, but the thing where he's going to be shortcoming is the fact that his tyres are going to be absolutely clinging on for dear life by the time he gets to the end of the race, especially because of the fact that he's actually having to make moves. He's going to be pushing here. He's not going to. He can't look after his tyres when he's making his way through the pack and pulling moves on people. So it's going to be about. It's really going to be about just praying that they hang in there.
Very
he's round the outside.
Denny Boy round the outside of Orky. Again, amazing move, and this time he's actually held it, unlike everyone else that's attempted that move.
It's one of those moves.
Really good so far from Denny.
But it's one of those moves where there's no contest really. You've got Orky on the hards, you've got Denny Boy on the soft. You know, it's just that there's no fight. It's a strategic kind of like crossover really.
GGJ, yeah. Look at GGJ though into a chicane. There's no DRS yet for another lap, so next lap we're going to have DRS. GGJ will be praying for DRS, just to, again, run away from Specky, and just get away from Tesla as well, so he can have a buffer between Dan Specky and himself.
We have got double yellow flags through sector 3, so I'm not sure what those are for. Dual silver maybe.
Dual silver it's still silver in this round, and I don't know what happened there. Maybe a little bit of a moment through a chicane. I mean, I've seen like 2 mistakes there so far tonight throughout the chicane. I mean, it's very definitely chicane, but yeah.
Denny Boy's on the back of Matty Pitt as they're coming over the line here to start lap 20 of the race. And here goes Denny Boy down the inside, and no DRS this time, but nonetheless gets it done anyway. In the background you've got Orky, who's got the Greave Hastingham coming through turn 1. The Greave is also on the back of these guys as well. In fact, that's Orky head of the Greave and TDD Champ, I do apologise, but TDD Champ, they're still behind his de facto teammate for this week, the Greave. But yeah, currently Tesla Mazda is leading this race ahead of GGJ. He's obviously holding on despite having worn out hard tyres. So I said before, I think that probably GGJ and Dem Specky are going to have about half a second a lap in terms of overall pace of an advantage over Tesla Mazda, but obviously half a second can sometimes not be quick enough to get you the move.
GGJ going to go down the inside, and Tesla Mazda down the chicane. There's no move done there.
He'll have DRS though, won't he, this time?
Yeah, he will have DRS. That's a very good point.
Used all of his DRS as well. He's got hardly any DRS left.
GGJ's on 50%, so he's going to be he's going to use all of his resources on the main straight. And one other comment I have, I can't see the weather forecast, but it looks a little bit dark. I don't know about you, but it's got darker. I don't know if that's
got a little bit murky
time of day or it's gone a little bit, depressing, I guess you could say. It's got very dark.
Yeah, there is certainly some moisture in the air by the looks of it. But we can see here DRS for GTJ, but he got a horrible run out of the final corner and got absolutely no run on Tezza worth talking about. But whilst we're seeing this battle going on, Gamefly's made a mistake and has dropped well off of the leaders, although he is now starting to pull that gap down again. He's only 3 seconds off of these guys at the moment, so he's not completely out of this battle. If these 4 at the front battle and slow each other down, then Gamefly's certainly not out of this one. But right now Tezza is doing everything he has to do on slightly more worn out tyres than these guys, but not enormously. And obviously we know that the hards can hang in there for some considerable distance, so at this point he's just doing what he needs to do. He's got to save a second. No way. Oh wow,
it's another full safety car.
What do they do here? Because looking at the timing board, the top 4 have about maybe 10 seconds down to about 7th place. I mean, do they come in at the end of this lap and put the softs on maybe?
I mean, it's a conflicted decision, I guess, because Crescent Anime has a 20-second gap to TGD champ in T9, so P9. So
would it be worth dropping down to P8 with fresh soft tyres on? Yeah,
I think it would be.
Or P8 for obviously the big sort of like a loser in a situation, but it would be. I mean, it's a difficult decision here. Tezza's staying out. He thought about it, didn't he? So he flicked to the inside and then thought better of it. I think they all kind of thought about it. Everyone's kind of just throwing little dummies here. Tezza Mazza, I think, threw the dummy and then was like, you know what? No, I'm not doing that.
I think Tezza's lost out there because you know, as the race goes older, so does his tyres. I think he could have pitted for softs there, come out and had a really good chance at fighting for another podium, because look at his pace compared to 11 lap younger tyres that GGJ has compared to Tezza. So I think he has massive pace advantage here, and his tyres are only going to grow older, so I think he's thrown away an opportunity there. But let's just see what happens.
Yeah, I reckon that I reckon about half a second a lap was what I reckon is the difference in terms of GGJ's potential in what he's got underneath him. But Tezza obviously feels confident. You know, he knows what he's doing. He's a smart driver. As I said before, he's a master strategist. So he's one of those guys who he's a smart, he's an intelligent driver. He's not just got pace. He's got the know-how. He's got the nous. So he must know something from inside that cockpit of that Aston Martin, so I wouldn't doubt his ability to have the confidence to know what's underneath him. But yeah, he's still leading this race at the moment, and to be fair, he's hung in there pretty well with these fresh tired drivers behind him. GGJ and Demspecky's now, their tyres are probably just going to be coming into their peak window, because the hard tyres do take a while to actually get up to their peak window. Saying that, I mean, you know, we're under safety car now, so that's kind of ruined that. So if Tezza can just keep his tyres warm, he might be able to negate the advantage that these guys have got with fresher tyres, because they just haven't got them up to temperature yet. So, you know, it could be a massive advantage. These safety cars could really be helping Tezza out, and obviously the more the laps that we do on a safety car, the less likely it is that his tyres will be hitting the cliff by the time we get to the end. Because if you think about it, he was going to have to do 25 laps on these initially, and those tyres would have been hanging on for dear life at the end. Now he's only going to be doing 21 racing laps on these hard tyres, so they're going to be in a much better nick than they otherwise would have been. So I reckon he's going to have plenty in the tank. He's going to definitely have an opportunity to be able to defend this position for the lead, as we see Orky coming into the pits at the end of lap 22, and he's put the soft tyres on, so he's going for a bit of a short burst here. Nothing to lose, I guess. Could gain some points. If not, then it is what it is. But yeah, this is turning into a bit of a fascinating Australian Grand Prix here at Motive Racing, and Tezza Mazza is your leader, but can he hold on to GGJ and Demspecky? Demspecky is a man who's going to be absolutely frustrated with the position he currently finds himself in, because without these safety cars it would have been easy P1 for him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Demspecky's going to be absolutely fuming under that lid, because GGJ jumped him under the pits with a previous safety car. He's going to have to give it all he's got, because he's still got older tyres than GGJ. But again, GGJ is one that's going to have to get Tezza Mazza through Tezza Mazza first. So yeah, it's all going to come down to a wire, I think.
For sure, but yeah, we've got 6.5 laps left to go in this race, so it is, you know, we are now at the business end. Hopefully we'll be going this lap, because the Grieve's just got to catch up. Yeah, you would think they would be this lap, but you know, I don't apply logic to this safety car mode on this F122 game, because if you try and think about it logically, you're just going to end up really struggling to make sense of it. So the best thing is just to wait and see what happens, rather than try and anticipate it or understand it. But yeah, currently you got the Grieve trying to just catch up to the back of this pack, and here we go. He's now appearing on the end of the train. You got Jill Silver in with him, so as soon as these guys hit the back of the train, yeah, here we go.
Oh wow, that's a very late decision.
It is not much time for this safety car to get itself out of harm's way, but Tezza Mazza is going to get us underway here, and his tyres are going to be in a much better position than they would have been if he'd had to do the whole stint at racing speeds. Is he going to have enough here to hold off GGJ, who's looking very racy? Best thing in here is to go as you're getting out of the last corner, because the driver behind you is still turning. So if your driver's behind you still got full lock on, you can absolutely get the jump on him, and Tezza's done that brilliantly, as Demspecky weaving around trying to get temperatures in his tyres. In the meantime, we've got Denny Boy down the inside of Matty Pitt into turn 1. He's got that one done brilliantly there, as Denny Boy up into P6, as the Grieve has got ahead of Crestaname's had a mistake there, and Orky as well, so those two crashing out there coming through turn 1. Tezza Mazza ahead of GGJ, followed by Demspecky. Carpenter is trying to attack it on the back of Demspecky, as Crestaname's got back ahead of Orky up into 12th place, but Demspecky managing to hold on there. Carpenter was looking quite aggressive on the back of him, but couldn't find a way through, and as you were, but Tezza Mazza leading GGJ within half a second of him, but Tezza's once again has got a good start here on these worn out hard tyres.
I mean, yeah, very equal start really for the top 5. Even Teddy Boy's gonna have a go at game for life. He's gonna go try down the inside. Oh, it's happened again. Game for life's had a massive accident. And he's out of a race, and that I don't know. It's again. It's a little bit of contact spinning around a car.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be
opening.
I'm definitely going to be opening an inquiry on Denny Boy tonight. I know he's a new driver to this F1 game, but that's twice now. That I think that's twice that he's been at fault for an incident. You know, once, you know, fair play. Okay, you can kind of draw a line under it. It's a mistake, but twice, you know, that's not a mistake. He's kind of like, you know, that's negligence for me when you do it twice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just a bit unneeded. But look at the gap between Demspecki and GGJ. GGJ is going to be running away with this race, and he might even have a go here. No, he's not going to use any ERS, and he's just going to wait behind, wait for DRS, and zoom past as the race comes to a close.
Yeah, it could potentially be one driver who is in a very, very good position right now. Obviously, Denny Boy and TD Champ as well. The Grieve, but then again, you know, these guys, well, they're on fresh soft tyres. They're on even fresher soft tyres than what they were at the mid part of the race. So it could now be very interesting indeed to see as these guys get onto the back of the leaders. As GGJ's got ahead of Tezamaza. So GGJ up into the lead here as they're coming down this long straight, which leads down towards the chicane. But GGJ didn't see him actually make the move. Tezamaza will have, will he have DRS, or are we not far enough into the stint yet? I can't remember.
I don't think DRS has even been enabled yet.
No, not yet. Next lap. Yes,
yeah, but one thing we have to be careful of is GGJ's 3-second penalty. This could actually destroy his race, because Demspecki isn't very slow at the moment at all, so he's going to be keeping within GGJ, and even Tezamaza can keep within 3 seconds, so GGJ is going to be gagging to just run away with us.
Tez, I think, knows that all he needs to do, that's probably why he didn't fight that one too hard. He knows all he needs to do is keep it within a second, and he can pretty much just latch onto the back of him. Realistically, he can keep it within 3 seconds and still be the race winner. But we've got Carpentier on the back of Demspecki. Denny Boy is within, even Denny Boy's within 3 seconds of GGJ, and he's going to be gaining more and more over the course of the rest of this race. So Denny Boy could even win this race. He's looking to the inside of Carpentier, and into turn 3 they come. I tell you what, it's been a fantastic drive in terms of pace from Denny Boy. If only he could sort out his aggression. He's been at fault for 2 collisions tonight, and you know, it shows that karma can't be a real thing, because he's still running a P5 and in with a shout of winning this race.
Yeah, definitely. Denny Boy's very just a valiant drive tonight, but yeah, you just need to reel it in, and he could easily be a championship contender. He's going to try it again though, and it's almost happened again. He's going to try around the outside, but no, he's going to stay behind for now, and history almost repeated itself.
Yeah, he's a little bit too far back, I think, to make the DRS work, also owing to the fact that Carpentier has got DRS on Demspecki as well. He's having a look, but he's too far back at the moment. But yeah, Denny Boy on these fresh soft tyres is now really going for it. He should have the pace over GGJ, Tezamaza and Demspecki, but first he needs to negotiate this AlphaTauri of Carpentier, who's on the medium tyres, so he hasn't got as much of an advantage over Carpentier as he has over the others in front of him. But nonetheless, here we come down the start-finish straight. Carpentier still has DRS on Demspecki, and that is currently saving him here, as now Denny Boy looking to the outside into turn 1. Carpentier has the inside, covers it off beautifully there, but the McLaren will get another dose here of the DRS coming down this straight. And I tell you what, the AlphaTauri this time doesn't have DRS on the Ferrari. Here goes the McLaren of Denny Boy round the outside.
Really late, and it's going to push McLaren off, and he's rounds. Denny Boy's rounds.
I hate to say it, but that's a little bit of karma there for Denny Boy after tonight. The way he's driven Carpentier there, went late on the brakes and pushed him wide, and Carpentier definitely at fault for that one. But
TD Champ's out, and he's in the wall. TDG Champ.
It's not a safety car.
Rookie,
it's
retired.
Not a safety car.
It's not going to be. There's not enough laps. But Demspecki is keeping within Tezza. He's going to try and just use his DRS to try and reel himself into GGJ with that 3-second penalty. It's not looking good for GGJ. He's got 2 more laps when he crosses the line.
GGJ is going to be sat there hoping and praying that these two fight each other ridiculously hard and slow each other down. Yeah. These two, if they're smart about this, can get.
No way! It's rounds!
Oh no!
Oh wow, what could have been? Another podium could have been for Tezza, but oh no, that's so frustrating. But now this leaves Demspecki all to himself to try and get this podium, and to try and get his win even. And he's going to use all of his resources to try and, you know, just get close to him. GGJ's going to be fuming at that one too, because Tezamaza was really his only hope at securing this win.
Denny Boy into P5. He's got ahead of Tezza Muzza. Now he can focus on Matty Pitt, who's running in 4th place. So can Denny Boy get himself back into P4? But nonetheless, Denny Boy, it's been a bit of topsy-turvy race for him. I tell you what, he doesn't really deserve to be in P5 after taking 2 drivers out of the race tonight. But nonetheless, they weren't deliberate crashes, but they were definitely his fault, that's for sure. But he's running in P5. Demsbecky, though, within 2.5 seconds. As you say, Max, his tyres are 2 laps older than GGJ. Now,
It's raining.
Oh, Tezza's got a penalty as well. Is it?
And
no way.
It started raining.
It's not
you
going
can see on the
get
HUD.
wet enough. It's too late. It's
No,
not going to get wet
it's
enough.
going to be slick. It's going to be slick tyres for now. But that's going to be very slippery out there. It's going to get very slippery very quickly as well. I said that was getting darker. I didn't have access to the weather forecast, but oh wow, that is a crazy end to this race.
Yeah, for sure. If the rain had come maybe a couple of laps earlier, we could have been seeing a very sort of switched up. Is anybody going to gamble it and hope that it absolutely pours and put the inters on?
No way. I mean, with F122's logic, God, anything can happen.
Imagine that. Imagine if it just absolutely tipped down like Sepang right now or something. That would be insane.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 2.7 is the gap between Demspec and GGJ, both at like 5% ERS as well, so on really equal terms. I don't know how much. Let's see how much.
GGJ's got slightly
penalties. Yeah, Commentator has 6 seconds of penalties as well, so he's going to keep the podium for now. And there's a yellow flag. I think that's Crescent Anime's round. That's unlucky for him. But yeah, 2.9 now is the gap. So GGJ is going to be pushing with all his effort and just everything he's got through these last couple sectors.
I was saying before, GGJ has got slightly fresher tyres than Demsbecky by 2 laps, so it's not much. You know, probably about a tenth a lap is what you would have by having 2 lap fresher tyres on the hard tyres. But nonetheless, the gap is creeping above 3 seconds here, and GGJ could be on course for a win. Demsbecky has had this one. He's won both of the previous sessions. He obviously won the one-shot qualifying. He then went on to take the sprint race. Demsbecky led most of this race up until the safety cars came out, and then we had 2 safety car periods which shook it up a little bit. The gap is 3 seconds. It is so tight between these two. Here comes GGJ into the penultimate corner. It's up and then it's under, and then it's up, then it's under. It's going up and down. It's yo-yoing back and forth. But GGJ coming out of the final corner here at Albert Park is going to take the Australian Grand Prix win on the track. But who is going to get it on the classification? I think GGJ's done it. GGJ is your winner.
GGJ is the winner. Oh wow! What a turnaround from leading
to complete the podium. Denny Boy gets 4th place in the end. Matty Pitt gets him on the penalties, and Tezza gets both of them. So Tezza 4th, Matty Pitt 5th, Crazy Max 6th. The Green comes over in 7th. Denny Boy is finished in 8th place with Orky in 9th. Jill Silverham finishes the race in P10 on the track, but gets... I don't know. I don't even know. I think Jill Silverham ended up... No, somebody else ended up P9. I don't know who it was, but what a finish to that race.
I mean, I think you might have to check up... I think you have to check up on your stats there. That might be the closest finish ever in motor racing history. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not too up to date, but just a 10th in it. That's crazy. From leading under a safety car with that quick pit stop he had, and the free pit stop really, from changing track position, GGJ is your winner. Wow.
Unbelievable stuff there. Great action here tonight for the Australian Grand Prix. Guys, if you did enjoy, smash the like button. To the drivers watching this back, hopefully we did that justice, and you enjoy watching this back when you get the chance. So if you did enjoy it, also share with your friends, family members, and otherwise associates as well. Yeah, that was absolutely awesome. Jeddah last week was dramatic, but tonight I think probably the best race so far. Yeah.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Very just energetic race, and yeah, I loved every moment of it, really. There's action wherever you looked.
We've got Tez in the comments there saying tyres were absolutely dead as fuck. He goes, yeah, they did seem like they were hanging on there, but did well to finish in 3rd place there. But GGJ, your race winner, ended up with 32 points in the bag tonight. And is the highest scorer in terms of taking a P2 in the first race, the sprint race, and taking that was an absolute pleasure. That was superb.
That was incredible that I get to witness and even commentate alongside this great community and great racing as well. There's been a few dips in the racing tonight, but you know, racing's racing. You know, there's always going to be a few incidents. It's not like it's invincible to it. But yeah, throughout, yeah, a few outliers, but most of all, genuine racing between people.
yeah, obviously we'll have to come back to a few of the things. Bennett getting taken out. We're definitely going to have to address some of Danny Boy's incidents. I think hate to call the guy out, but yeah, it just has to be said. But also, you know, a few ifs and buts there. But all in all, great stuff here tonight, guys. A big thank you to all of you. Join us next week. We'll be live at the same place as always. We will be live at 6:40 p.m. UK time for round 4 of the season, which will be at Imola. So we'll be here for the Emilia Romagna. Oh yeah, it's one of my favourites as well. I've got to say, I think it's probably almost my favourite F1 track. It's difficult to actually put my finger on which one, but it's up there for sure. But yeah, thanks everybody, guys. We will see you in the next one. Yeah, thank you and good night.
Have a good evening.